Hey, what's going on, everybody? TaylorMade Hoops coming to you live and direct once again with TaylorMade Hoops Player Circle. Today, man, I have a very, very special guest. I have my main man, Tony White, one of my former players at North Dallas High School. Let me give you a little bit of background on Tony White, man. Tony was a bad boy. He was a multi-sport athlete, basketball, football. He was all-district performer in basketball and football. He was named district MVP, all area first team selection, and team MVP in football. He led the team to an undefeated district championship in the bi-district championship as a senior, and he recorded a school record 10 interceptions in 2010, which was his junior high school season. He's a former collegiate athlete, and now I'm so honored he's a big-time film and movie director, man. What's going on, Tony? How you doing, man?
Hey man, where'd you get that info? Where you get that background? I'm
Yeah,
listening. I'm
baby.
like,
Yeah, baby.
I'm like, wait, I forgot about that. Where you get all that from? That's cool. That's cool. I
Hey,
appreciate
hey,
that.
hey, 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 man. No, but seriously, Tony, man, I try to do my research, man, and I'm just, to be honest, man, I just be proud of you guys. Like you said, some of that stuff I looked at, I knew, when you transferred over to Hillcrest, man, that you did, some big things in football, man. When I started reading, I said, damn, I said my boy was doing this thing, man. He was
Yeah,
doing your
yeah.
thing, man. For real.
I appreciate the professionalism and you doing that. And I know before we get started, I do want to say I appreciate you for even doing this, man. Yeah, you one of the people I never forget, man. I still remember you used to take us to McDonald's for the games, man. Me and D, Dedrick, you know what I mean? Like I will, I always make time try to do something like this or support if I can, man. I'll never forget those days back in at North Dallas, man. So appreciate you for still sticking at it, doing what you're doing, and so I just want to give my thanks to you before we got started.
Hey man, hey no, serious man, don't make me start crying with have you, man. But seriously, no, I still remember them times, and I tell people, man, that hopefully, in life, man, even though we just in trouble life for for a short time period, it doesn't matter how long you're in the person's life. It's the relationships that you build, with people, what
Yeah.
have you, man. And I still remember those rides home. Me and my wife, we still talk about your kids from North Dallas, still talk about you because it used to be so funny. Remember after the games, sometimes, man, you and Deontay be standing out there outside. Deontay, he stayed by me, what have you. So he knew I was gonna give him a ride, but he was sitting there, man, and you be sitting out there with him, whatever. So y'all get in the truck, man. We be driving, man. And y'all wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't say nothing at first. Then all of a sudden, I remember it used to be you, man. We sit in the back truck, and I see y'all in the back, and y'all Deontay, when I was sitting in the front, you be in the back. So he be looking at you through the rearview mirror. Y'all be talking, whatever. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know they about. Then all of a sudden, you hit me. You like, stay close, team. What's up there, McDonald's, baby?
Oh man, that is crazy. That's so man. Man, you left a good like imprint on us, man. We still like bring it from time to time, man. It's that's I hope to be like that for some people like now in life. You know what I mean? To leave them like them little core memories and all that type of just looking out for doing things that you didn't have to do, and you don't realize how important that those little moments was until you like older. You're like, man, like that dude didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And it's just like so we appreciative for sure, man. But yeah, it's funny thinking about it because I still remember still remember them car rides.
But now, I tell everybody, man, just a different breed. Just like your parents, how you came up, just a different breed. Not saying that the coaches and things are worse or not as good, but back then that was just the way that that I was raised. I was brought up, by the older coaches, as we say in this game, the OGs, whatever, about Go Reed Johnson and Snoop and guys like that, who always
Mhm.
told us that coaching, man, is a service. Where be
Yeah.
thankful that I have opportunities to be a service and to help someone. So my thing was, he always tell me, he said, hey man, he said your kids should love you, be loyal to you, man. He said, man, if you love them, man, and you feed them, he said, he's coach, you gotta feed them. Go we always say,
No,
feed them.
for real.
He don't know. He said, coach, you gotta feed them. Coach said, I will teach them. So my thing was that even though I didn't have to, give you guys ride home and feed you stuff like that, which I'm glad, which which I did supposed to be doing, which I against the UIL rules, which look, I don't coach no more, so I got to worry about that, Tony, the
Yeah.
statute of limitations, whatever. But no, but take the guys home and feed you things like that. To me, man, I used to tell my wife all the time. I said, hey, man, I said if $5 or $10, is gonna break me or whatever, then I don't need to be working, man. So my thing was I do a lot of times that, y'all going home, what have you, that, your parents may not be there, what have you, and then you just being a kid, who don't want to eat McDonald's, so just one of them things, man, like I say, what a big thing, man. But hey, let's go ahead and get started with the interview, man, because we'll be reminiscing, talking all the time. For my viewers tuning in once again, I got my main man, Tony White, which, hey, he already been checking me out, so you know how to do, just hanging out, chopping up. But today, our objective and points of conversation, Tony will be telling us about his take on the recruitment process, the present state of college athletics, the NIL, the transfer portal, the pros and cons of that. Then he's going to tell us, which is most important, life after college athletics. So the first question I want to ask you, Tony, is, so people know your background. Where did you grow up in your athletic and educational journey? Where did you play collegiately?
I played collegiately in 2 places. Out of high school, I went to, which I think is formerly known now as Texas A&M Commerce, but it's East Texas A&M now. And then after,
Yeah.
I went to Colorado Mesa University in Grand Junction, Colorado. Yeah, that's where I ended up. But I grew up. I am in. You asked me that. The second part of your question. I am from Dallas, Texas. Grew up on Hall Street in Munger.
Yes, sir.
Uh, and yeah, I went to Spence J.W. Ray Elementary School, which is across the street from my neighborhood, and then I went to Spence Middle School, and then where I met you at is I went to North Dallas High School so for my first two and some change, 2.5 years
Mhm.
before transferring to Hillcrest High School, and that's where I graduated. And then from there, yeah, I went to Commerce, and then out to Colorado.
Well, hey, what's his name? Tony's being real modest, man. Great young man, and I definitely gonna tell you how he got the nickname, which I still call him, which you may not remember. But Tony was a great kid, a great athlete, like you said. Ended up going to, matter of fact, small world. That's where I graduated from. I think it's East Texas A&M. When I went to it, it was A&M Commerce, Tony. That's where I graduated from. Uh, tell us, Tony, man. I did my research on you, man. So tell me, any highlights, any awards, big time accomplishments or records set or team records or anything occurred while you were down in college at Colorado Mesa or A&M Commerce? Any things you want to kind of you're proud of in the team accomplishments or anything like that? Any individual accomplishments, records check? I know you said records in high school, man. I think you still may hold that record for 10 interceptions in the season at Hillcrest, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I need to actually, since I'm back in Dallas now, I need to go to a homecoming or something this year. Yeah, Chris. Um, in college, I'm happy we won my last year. We won a conference ring. So
Mhm.
I'm proud of that. I was getting hurt my time in college a bunch. I don't have any like personal things that would just like stand out that I remember. I know I've done some things, but I some of them I don't really remember no more, honestly. But I remember that team conference ring. I still have that ring, and that's
Yeah.
that means a lot to me just because you think about this. Yeah, I guess that's the stuff you really remember when it's over. You remember all them team things. Like I know I did some things there and won some players of the month, weeks, and stuff like that. But I don't really too much care about it. But I've had a good little sports career, I would say, from where I come from and the guidance that I had. I'm proud. I'm proud of where I was able to take things regardless of not having certain things. Yeah.
Mhm. No doubt about that, man. No doubt about that. For my viewers tuning in, once again, I got my main man, Tony White. Tony White's one of my former players at North Dallas High School. played collegiately at A&M Commerce in Colorado Mesa. He being real humble. His senior year, he was all conference performer down there at Colorado Mesa, man. But Tony, let me ask you this, man. I know growing up, like you say, man, in that part of North Dallas, Hall Street, what have you, could be a rough neighborhood or what have you. But what role did athletics play in your life growing up? How important was playing sports, man?
Oh man, like sport, like legit sports was everything. And I know, like it's cliche. People are like, oh, sports everything, but like I ain't even speaking in hyperbole when I say it was everything. Like it was legit the reason why I went to school, the reason why I went to class, the reason why I had, like why I wanted to get up every day. Like I still, me and my homeboy, Dedrick, we used to play one-on-one full court basketball in the summer. Like, it was legit, just like everything to us. So yeah, sports was everything, man. It was our quote unquote like way out. You know how it's that was like, oh, this is the thing we can do, So honestly, sports was everything for me as a kid. Very, yeah, it was everything as a kid.
Well, some report that you said, Tony, man, is that reason why, to be honest, I brought you on the show when I was thinking about people, is that how you can show that how you use basketball as a tool, like you say, as your way to create more better opportunities for you to better the situation. You get what I'm saying? Well, a lot of kids, we probably all had, the hoop dreams or the football dreams, playing NFL, NBA, things like that. But once you start playing, and just to be honest, the back of your head, it's always, the reality set in, like, man, I'm good, but I might need to kind of, focus on some other things. So it was good that you realized that and use football, whatever athletics, to kind of, take you places where you probably wouldn't be able to go, in life if it wasn't because of football. Meet different people, and as I can tell by you being successful in your career now, I know that you pretty much, you utilize those relationships and form those relationships, lifelong relationships to help you, later on in life. That's what the college experience and using. I feel, Tony, I tell kids all the time, athletics, for always, because the balls will quit bouncing, or the football is gonna be quit being caught one day. Everybody got to put it down, So, I'm
Yeah,
just so that's why I'm so proud of you, man. Seriously, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because that's so much the truth, and I didn't disconnect. Like I was so like to go back earlier, what I was saying about. So a lot of us in those environments, right? And it's getting even harder and harder today. But like we're interested in those things. We like to do them, and it was like everything for us. But we didn't really just have any like guidance on how to do it the right way, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? We was doing
Oh
it
yeah,
because we
oh
love
yeah.
to do it, and like because if we had real guidance, they wouldn't have sent us to North Dallas High School to be realistic. You know what I mean? Like,
No, no, hey, that's no slide against me. That's just keeping it real. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. Just like if you want to kind of guarantee your success at a thing, there's the right steps to take, and we
Oh,
would
definitely.
just we were just kind of the kids who loved it so much that we were just gonna do it. And like I didn't realize that until like college. I was like, wow, like even getting this, right? Like that, like I remember people was like, oh man, I went D2 like I'm a failure. Like I
Yeah.
didn't get the biggest shit. I didn't get the, oh sorry, but I didn't get the biggest thing. And
Hmm.
it took me 2 years. I was just like, yo, like honestly, from my situation. And like I never went, you know what I mean? Like I never went to like training camps. I never had like a trainer, or like I didn't go to
Yeah.
camps, and like I just
Go ahead. Yeah.
played, and then I just went to school. And and then even with football, I used to hoop. I used to hoop. I didn't even take football serious. I just played that my one last year at
Yep.
Hillcrest, really. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep. Yep.
And and I got, I was fortunate enough to win district MVP, and have all those interceptions, and still like I was still good enough talent wise to get a scholarship to go somewhere. You know what I mean? When
Mhm.
I didn't do the I didn't do the dedicated training and all the stuff you need to do in order to really do it big. You know what I mean? I was out there on just ski like talent. You get what I mean? And it's like when I thought about it, I was
Mhm.
just like, wow, like I really got lucky if you think about it. Like I don't look at this D2 thing as like, oh, like we was coming from places where it just like that's not. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm right, but no, it just I was grateful to end up having that. Like it really when I got to disconnect and see like, oh, this was a tool.
Mhm.
Like even if it didn't take me all the way to where I thought I was gonna go, it took me somewhere, and that shit is way better than where you were. You know? Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Tony? Hey, man, like you say, man, hey, we just over here, like you say, to talk best now. You're not talking too much. You good, man. I want you to share your story so people can tell what you're saying. And I understand, and like you say, no slight, but what you said is something very important to the parents that's listening. This, one reason why I do this, comes to educate the parents and things. They sort in the process, recruiting process. And one thing you said that was very important is that when you do things, you got to have a plan. There's certain steps you got to take. You got to put yourself in position. To be
Yeah.
successful, even in athletics. So what you're saying is just to be honest. The talent that you guys had, you and Lil Wink and Jeremy Aldridge, and even Deontay. Some because we had some great athletes. In North Dallas. To be honest, man, Titus Rubles and Big Shed and all them, man. So, but the thing is, like you said, if people around you, your mentors, like you said, that you really have, if they were serious about it and serious about you with sports, they would have sent you north down. They would send you to places that produce basketball players. They would send you to Lincoln or Kimball.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, I'm just keeping it real. Shout out to to Coach Bishop and all the guys and Snoop, who coached there. But you know, it is what it is. You want to play basketball. You go to Lincoln or soccer or camp or whatever. Is the thing about it, like some football side, you want to play football, you want to get shots, you go to WT White, you know what I'm saying, you went to Hill, like you went to Hillcrest or whatever
Yeah.
like that from the beginning. So you're absolutely right. So and one thing I can attest to what Tony's saying to my viewers who's tuning in that he's telling the truth that Tony, one thing about it, what I used to love about it, he was dedicated to that basketball, man. He been in school, he always had the basketball in his hand, dribbling around, what have you. But Tony would just take the things that, hopefully that he saw us doing practice or I showed him in practice or what have you, and just work on things by himself. Like you say, he didn't have no trainer. He didn't play no big time AAU ball, what have you. He just like you say, guys go up there just like the hoop. And a lot of them, like you say, to this day, they still just, like the hoop, like Reggie Johnson and Robert Livingston or whatever. They still just go to the park. They just like the hoop. They're just old heads, just like the hoop. And that's what y'all were. What I'm saying? Y'all just like say, y'all just like to play sports, man. And y'all really
Yeah.
know what y'all doing, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
Y'all some doctors,
Yeah.
man.
No, just honestly, yeah, when I think back on it, that's like I was happy I had a goal in mind, of course, because I think that's what you need. You need to vision yourself as something, see yourself like, oh, I want to be this, because it keeps you like
Mhm.
going that way. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I'm happy
Mhm.
that I didn't disconnect from that until I got to college, because if I would have had that realization before I had some sort of like path in a way set, I probably would have let it overwhelm me in a way of like I was so I was so I was so focused on like getting the like, oh, I gotta get a scholarship. Like that's how it works. I in my head it was just, oh, that's how it
Yeah.
works. Right. Even though,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so imagine, okay, because imagine like I got hurt my senior year at Hillcrest. Like I had a fight before the season, and I wasn't supposed to play for like the first 5 games, but then I end up winning, like I said, district MVP, all this stuff. And I was like, wait, if I
Mhm.
didn't switch over to football, I wouldn't have even got a scholarship. But I was so like in my head that like this is how it works, that it has to go this way. You get what I mean? That it
Mhm.
actually
Mhm.
went that way because I was so like,
Mhm.
no, regardless of whatever happens, I got to. And I was realizing in school, I was like, I want to end up in college because who was gonna pay for college? How was I going? You know what I mean? I was like, how was I gonna do any of this? And it's just like
Listen.
I think it's important to have like a like your mind made up on being something, but even if that doesn't go all the way how you want it, at least you a little bit. further than what you would have been if you was BSing around, you know, or if your mind wasn't made up on doing anything.
Mm-hmm. No, but hey, man, you just bring something like to share with these youngsters, man. It's true, Tony. That I tell folks all the time. I tell my players, I'm still the same old coach T, so I'm always hitting with the life stuff or whatever. So I tell my players, I say, hey, man, I said, think about this, man. I said, hey, I said, people don't. I said, people, you probably go by it. So I said, people don't fail to plan; they plan to fail. I say, people don't, people unsuccessful. You don't wake up one day, you go to school, hey, now I plan on not having a job or not, being successful, whatever the case may be. People plan to fail. So what you said is so true. I tell people all the time, set goals, like you said, Tony, even if you so-called don't meet your standards of your goal or what have you, you're still gonna be farther than you were before because you playing something. You just wasn't stagnant. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you may dream, like you say, Tony, you might dream of, playing in the NFL, what have you like that. Didn't make it, but like you say, still end up, like you say, playing in college, win the conference championship. You know what I'm saying? Things
Yeah.
meet some great people, things like that, or whatever. So it's just a great thing about it. Hey, for my viewers tuning in, man, as you tell, we have a great time, man. Seriously, me and my man, Tony White, one of my former players at North Dallas High School. Tony now is he's gonna tell the coach he cut out. He's a big time movie director and producer right now, man. I'm gonna let him talk about that a little later, man. But Tony, let me ask this, man. You talked about it, but when did you realize that when did you realize that you wanted to be a collegiate athlete? When did that kind of hit your head? You say, hey, man, I want to play basketball or college or football, or whatever in college.
I think around middle school, possibly, or maybe even before. Like maybe before, it had to be late, like sixth grade, fifth, sixth grade, seventh grade. Just like they market the hell out these prestigious schools. Like these schools with all the money and resources. They what you see. You see the Texas, USC, Alabama. All day long. Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like I like the hoop. I want to do that. And so yeah, see, you see all the stuff on TV early. And so, and then of course I'm from Texas and we got the football, we got, sports is a big deal. So, then you growing up with all these people in your neighborhood that, hoop and do all this other stuff. And yeah, I was like, like I want to do that, yeah, I think it was the TV, just seeing all that stuff on TV, then the games and stuff. They was coming out with better games, and we playing, like NCAA, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah. Well, Tony, man, before I go to the next question, man, before I forget, man, let everybody know, man, that tell the story, man. Man, we had really thought, we had the rolling over in North Dallas, man. We had a pretty good team, and then the next year, man, my last year there, man, we get a guy by the name of Tony White and Jeremy Winky Aldridge walked out doors, man. I mean, these are two kids, man. To be honest, Tony can tell you, man, he didn't realize because the good thing was it worked out in our favor. You guys were such humble kids, didn't realize, really the talent that y'all had. So y'all weren't caught up in all that, other schools trying to recruit you or what have you. Y'all was just happy, come to North Dallas, what have you. But basically what you said, we should have had y'all, man. Y'all should have been at Lincoln or somewhere like that, man. The talent I had. But these two guys came in, man, especially Tony, man, came in as freshmen, man, and just really just kind of took over our program, man, as far as just was going, definitely gonna be the future. And as far as I think the middle of the season, man, move both y'all up to varsity, man, and y'all playing well, what have you. And just so I know your colleagues that you work with now, because like you say, Tony, as you get older, people may not believe you when you talk about high school and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They're like, oh man, Tony, did you play no basketball in high school or whatever? I know you get a team events, you probably be whooping. They're like, man, you shouldn't have been telling me you played ball in high school. No,
Yeah,
they probably
yeah.
don't believe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Tony, you're pretty good. So hey, everybody's watching, because I know Tony gonna share this with his platform. Hey, Tony White was the bad boy basketball. I gave him the nickname Green Light Tony White. That was because, hey, he was always on go. That boy could put that ball in that basket, man. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't believe it, Tony had a rare combination of speed, speed along with skill. Man, he was fast, that ball in his hand, and he understood angles, understood how to change direction and things like that. But man, get to that basket, man. Uh, had to work on his defense a little bit, man. And I always want to play defense, but hey, it's all good. Hey, he said, Coach, keep my name green light, Tony White, not defensive stopper, Tony White. So hey,
Not red light.
and not red light, no name green light. So before I go to best sports, I just had to tell everybody that, man, because seriously, I still laugh with my wife about that, man, about you green light, Tony White, man.
Yeah, that was a
So
tight nickname, man. That was yeah. You coined that one. That was tight. I was like, hey, that's hard right there.
I always tell people, man, I always try to give the ones, man, that obviously have great talent, just be able to have great talent, but the ones that hopefully I build those relationships with, man, and give them nicknames. Like I'll call my boy Reg, like, hey, Reg's the real deal down, so I
Yeah,
always try to give. I always try, to give some nicknames, man. But let me ask you this, man. Who influenced you the most as an athlete, man? Who influenced you the most as an athlete?
like players or like just what do you mean? Just like the people?
Where can do it like this, because that was kind of like a double edged sword question. So, kind of 2 point. Name somebody, maybe like to say to somebody personally, and then like to say maybe like say an athlete. So both ways, T.
Oh, so I would say my dad. Honestly, my dad he's like still to this day we'd sit up and on a Saturday or whenever just watch sports all day. My dad was big into sports and he super passionate about it. And when he yeah just saw me as a little kid and like I could actually play and I was athletic and doing this stuff, yeah, it's like from then on out, like his passion and him liking it so much and us talking about it, he inspired me, just keep going and like made me like kind of believe that I could. I was like, oh, I can do this, like I can play, and so he like kind of like because I'm me, I'm not this like I ain't no braggadocious guy. I ain't that ain't me. And back then when I was younger, I used to be like just very like timid and I didn't really believe in myself. Like I knew I could play, you know what I mean? Like I knew, but I didn't like I used to look at some people that just like was super like cocky and all this stuff. I'm like, how does that work? Like, because I couldn't, but my pops, he definitely like, he was like, well, all it takes for somebody to just make you mad or like put like somebody like I gotta hire somebody to hit you before every game or something. Because as soon as you don't give a damn no more, that's when you go off. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, I him he was that who inspired me. And then I was big on like Iverson. I was a big Iverson fan growing up.
Oh yeah.
Football, I was a big Reggie Bush fan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
then as I got to high school, I think my freshman year, Curry, and then also Muhammad Ali. So them my people. I'm big outside of like I think Reggie Bush is probably the only person who like doesn't have an impact to me like character wise, but I'm big. I always like good athletes who had like good character and like stood for
Oh yeah.
something.
Oh yeah.
I always I kind of like related to athletes like that who like they were good at what they do, but they actually stood for something. They were solid, like they were good people.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying Reggie Bush ain't a good person. I'm just saying like
Mm-hmm.
like people like Iverson, Curry, Ali, like they
Oh
sort of
yeah.
stand for, you know what I mean? They like
Mm-hmm.
hold themselves
Mm-hmm.
in. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, those are some people that inspired me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, this is good people, man. This is good people, like you said. And uh, to my viewers that's gonna be tuning in. Hey, you heard what he said, man, because I'm big on this, man. You heard what he said that not he wasn't inspired by these players just because of their talent. He said because of their character. So character means a lot. And I tell these young men all the time, so that your character is gonna take you a long way. This is gonna take you further than anything else. Is your character, because people may not remember what you did, what you said, but they remember how you treated them, how you made them feel.
Yeah.
So just like that, that's one of the reasons why, we still like, we back in North Dallas, just chopping up, whatever. Like, I ain't
Yeah.
seen the probably talks you talking about 10, 15 years, man, but it seemed like just yesterday because those relationships, man, like you say, that was a great, to be honest, that was a great time, period, to be honest, in my life, man, believe it or not, man, the time in North Dallas with y'all. We was talking about most memorable coach moments, even though I've been blessed to go on and, be a head coach other places and coach collegiately and things like that, man. But I still always remember North Dallas, man. But hey,
Yeah, man.
for my viewers is tuning in, man. Once again, I got my main man, Green Light Tony White on, man. My man Tony White, one of my former players at North Dallas High School, former collegiate player at Colorado Mesa. Now he's doing his thing, man, on behind the camera. Let me ask you this, Tony.
Before you,
We know we spoke about. We know we spoke about. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say before you was right. I meant to tell you was
No,
right
wait.
earlier. No, I'm gonna tell you you was right earlier with the like the nickname. There be people like I don't bring too much up ever about my sport and stuff, but like sometimes when I used to be like on set or doing something and people like see me
Okay.
shooting or something, like, wait, you can actually play basketball? And like some of my like
Yeah.
younger siblings and stuff don't think I can actually like I wasn't athletic or nothing. It'd be funny. It's just like
Yeah.
dang crazy. Like it's crazy that you could used to be like known for something and then time will go by and nobody ever believe it or think it's just like it's a funny thing. It's funny. It's hilarious. But yeah, be like, dang,
No,
like
no, no. No, you good, see, man. No, man, that's the funny part, man. It's seriously, like you said, Tony, that if you go back, like you say, you go back, like you say, you may try to catch your homecoming, perhaps, and everybody's gonna remember you, identify you. You know what I'm saying? In high school, is Tony as football, basketball player, it's the job. You get what I'm saying? But it's so
yeah.
funny now. But now in your life now, like you say, your younger siblings, nieces and nephews, if you have any or things like that, your co-workers, things like that, they know you as something. They don't know you as, as Green Light Tony White.
Yeah.
They're like, when they like you said, when they see him, you shoot around. They're like, you used to play. You're not a a braggadocious type of person. You ain't like, hey man, shit, I was on varsity 4 straight years in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You don't brag. You just like, I know you told me, like, yeah, I played a little bit. That's what you probably,
Yeah,
I played a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Did a couple layups.
Yeah, that's what you did with me. I shot a couple of layups. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I was just going to ask Tony. This question was just, I'm telling you kind of spoke of a little bit, but just kind of go in depth because your experience, like I said, high school was a little crazy. Like I said, you just didn't start playing football to your senior year. So tell me about your tell me about your recruitment in high school. How did your recruitment kind of go in high school, man?
Um, recruiting just so people can understand. Listen,
Okay.
when I got done with my senior year and like I had the 10 I don't know why I did that, but I had the 10 interceptions. I had a bunch of awards. I was yeah, I had some cool stuff happening. And how ignorant like me and like how we were at the time, I was mailing out my highlight tape to just schools, not even the athletic department, just mailing them to the campus. That's how I only say that to say that when I talk about the no guidance and not really knowing how to put myself in a position to get a thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
even after you've done something good, you don't even know how to leverage it to win. You know what I mean? You just kind of like I feel like my whole like high school and even up to like about to go into school was just this like hope. Like I just like, oh, I'm a good person. I do things the right way. I hope something gonna go well for me. So I think my recruiting and everything like that went like that because that's what I that was the mindset. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna just go out and do what I can and stuff on the field, and then whatever happens, happens. And that's kind of what happened. I was just like, yeah, whoever offer or however they're supposed to go down, it goes. I remember I did have a call with Wyoming, and they were about to offer me. I remember this phone call, and then the next day, I remember getting off the phone. We was all excited, my pops and my friends who was over there with me. We was all like happy, And then the next day they called me. It was like, "Hey man, we just had a JUCO kid uh
Ah,
come back to us." And I didn't understand what that even meant. So I was like what?
okay.
I was just like, okay, and it was just like, yeah, so we kind of like we're gonna offer him, but like, man, I just want to say you're good. I hope the best for you and all this. And I was just like, okay, well, thanks. And then it hit me later that day. I was just like, dang, like, and then next thing you know, it was just like it was like a blur. And then next thing you know, I kind of like ended up at Commerce. I got the scholarship or whatever. There was a couple other, and I wish I would have. I'll say all that to say I wish I would have known how to go about the process. I was just
Yeah.
there, just like, just experiencing it all in this very just like whatever happens, like like
Mhm.
when there were so many things that I could have done that could have been done, but I was just, of course, just a kid, and my support system, they never been through that process either, so we was just all just like whatever, and then I didn't go to a school where they would make sure that these, so it was just
There you go.
that was the process. Sorry to ramble, but that was the process. It was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going through it, man. Didn't have. It's embarrassing to talk about, honestly. It just feels like damn, like but it's the real life, and that's what we want to tell you.
No, no, Tony, ain't no wrong. That's why, to be honest, Tony, man, not pub, everybody knows what I do, but that's why I do what I do, to make those decision, the recruiting process, just because of things like that, because like you say, you have parents and sometimes student athletes, like you say, just need what you just said, Tony, navigation through the process, knowing, how to, like you said, Tony, you need to know how to get your film out there to the college coaches. You didn't know, hey, I might want to send that to I play DB. I might want to send that, to the DB coach,
Yeah.
at the school or whatever, not just school, stuff like that. Then, like I say, for your visits, people, you probably know that, hey, you get 5 visits, what have you. So you have goals, just selling for commerce. You can, win on a couple more visits, what have you, like that. So it's just, stuff like that, man, that the reason why I share this and have you guys on, man, just so people kind of know, about the, recruitment process and things like that. But another important thing you said, Tony, man, was this, man, is that we got to understand, just like for me, man, you can't blame the support system, what have you, like that, because what you say, they didn't know, like you say, when I got ready to go to college, I was the first generation person to go to college. So my mom didn't know about no fast for no financial aid, no things like that, or whatever. I didn't know about no Pell grants. So you get what I'm saying. I didn't know about anything like that. What have you? So same thing with you. When you go through the process, your people's doing. They probably educating themselves, trying to put you in the best situation they could within their means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially like that, he probably reaching out to people that guys, that he knew, that may have played or may, you get what I'm saying. So, but the thing about it is that each generation, hopefully things get better. So now, Tony, like you said, that when you have kids, what have you, that if your son or daughter, is going through this process, now better. Or if I'm still around, hey, give Coach T a call, baby. I got you, baby.
Yeah. So,
I got you, Tony. So
appreciate
hey,
it.
but have a great time on TaylorMade Hoops Player Circle. I'm here with my main man, Tony Green Light White, one of my former players at North Dallas High School, just chopping up, talking about the recruitment process in high school that he had. Tony, let me ask you this, man. You kind of spoke of it, so let's kind of elaborate a little bit more, if you don't mind. If you could change one thing about your recruitment process, what would it be? As far as the process, what would it be? I know you kind of talked about you wish that you'd be more educated on more, but anything else you might would have done a little bit differently, or that's pretty much it.
I think it's just understanding the world, right? Like I think and I'm thinking about what you said. I can't be too hard on myself as in because I didn't know any better. Because I know I would have done
Yeah,
better if I'd known better. But just
so that
like whatever you in, understanding the world. Like understanding that world. Like if like how it works, how things function.
yeah,
And not just kind of
yeah,
just showing up and thinking that because like hey like I did my part, I did good, I did good. I did good, and like I'm a good person. And then I was, doing it like just thinking that those things that you did and are gonna like just because you did those things, everything else is gonna take care of itself, and it
Now,
and it, and it doesn't.
it's process. So, yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So that's one thing I just wish I would have known, and I think that's a big part of who I am now, and everything I do now, and it's like it's because of that. I don't ever want to be looking back and not feeling like I wasn't prepared. You know what I mean? Like I in life, it's just like I can deal with some failure, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with failure that I had the opportunity to be prepared for and I didn't prepare for it. That's the thing now. It's even though back then, it's funny because you learn these lessons the the very hard way because it's through things that you
Yeah.
love, like at the time
Mhm.
that was all I loved, and like I dropped the fucking ball. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but I got to give myself some grace because I didn't know any better. But when you get
Mhm.
older, you think about what happened. It's like, ah, I could have did this. I could have did that. I should have took this step. Even when I was at Commerce, and I didn't tell you this, but even when I was at Commerce, um, everybody there was like, "Bro, how are you here?" Like I remember all when they like I would show my like highlight tapes and all that stuff. Like, how did you end up here? And I'd be like, "What you mean?" It was like, "Bro, like look at my highlight tape, look at your highlight tape, and stuff like that." So and then it's really started making me thinking like, "Oh damn, I ain't supposed to be here." Like I was
I know
like,
what you're saying.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I had sold myself short. And then even
Mhm.
even when like I was like, okay, and I got in contact with Kentucky, and they wanted me to be a preferred walk on. It was like, hey, we ain't
Okay.
getting out no scholarship now, but you can come be a walk on. Like we like your
Yeah.
tape, and we like like because I sent them like practice tape in college too. So I sent my highlight high school practice. Yeah, we like what you're doing. You can come be a preferred walk on, and if you do good when you get here, scholarship, whoop de whoop, all that. And I was like, okay, 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 but nobody at Commerce could help me with. They could, but they didn't help me with that step of how to even
Mhm.
do that. How do I leave here? I don't know how to leave. Like I just figured out fast food in
Okay.
the clearinghouse. I just figured out all that. You telling me I gotta get out now? And it's like, and I very much so just said, oh, well, if I can't figure it out easy, it must not be for me. And I just hate that I
Okay.
was so like that like there was some slight opportunities that were still thrown my way, but
Hmm.
I was so just like hopeful that things would just work out that I didn't take them
Proper steps. Yeah.
them proper steps, even though they was a little bit harder, even though it'll stress me a little bit to do that. But yeah, those are some of them little moments, man.
Hey man, but I'm just gonna tell you, hey, Charlie, man, you dropping some gems, man, maybe some stuff that's gonna help some kids, some families, some people that's watching, man, seriously. And I just tell you that because what you just said, man, there's a life skill that these kids and even adults, ourselves, because I tell people all the time that hey, us adults we learning every day too. Try to be the best version of ourselves. But something that you said, man, is that people got to understand that whatever that you're doing, and so people understand what he's saying. Whatever you're doing, understand that word. What he means by is whatever you're doing, understand how that process works. If you're a teacher, understand how the teaching profession works. If you in in the production industry, like he is, understand how things work. Like you said, if you're a basketball player, you trying to go to college, what have you, understand what you can and can't do, what you have to do, the steps you got to take, for us, knowing what your GPA may have to be, knowing, what core courses you need for us, the academic side. Just educate yourself, not going into things like you said, because Tony still is a great guy, great person, did things the right way, our district had a resume or what have you, but didn't know how to promote that resume, didn't know how to promote himself or what have you, because that's why people were saying when he got down to Congress, they're like, man, you were district MVP in that tough Dallas district with WT White outpost, man. You were killing us. You supposed to be at Kentucky? You supposed to be at. So, but you so humble, Tony. You not knowing, the process. You like, Man, I'm just glad to have a scholarship, man. I come from Hall Street, man, where most people I know are either dead in jail or selling dope or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, hey, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I just wanted to point it out, so that people need to understand what you're saying is, man, whatever it is that you're doing, man, understand what it is that you're doing, if they make sense. Understand what it is that you're doing. You know, you got to understand. You got to understand, man, what's going on. Because if not, you miss out on opportunities, like you said, or people take advantage of it, man. Just to be honest, some people take advantage. You won't get paid what your work is, what have you, because you don't know no better. Well, I'm a viewers tuning in, man. As you tell, man, me and Tony White are having a great time on TaylorMade Hoops Player Circle. Tony is one of my former players at North Dallas High School. Uh, Tony was a big time two-sport, multi-sport athlete in high school, played collegiately. Now it's a big time, big time. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later. Uh, so let me ask this. We go. I know, like I said, you play multi-sports. So tell the viewers, man, what do you think are the benefits of playing multiple sports, especially in high school? What do you think are the benefits of playing multiple sports?
Oh man, I think you get a chance to to improve different parts of yourself,
Okay.
which is really important. Like I like the finesse and all that of a basketball. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it really translates to football, right? It can really translate because a lot of them be stiff and you know what I mean. Like it really translate, and if you can like add that physical like if you can get over being timid to the physicalness of a football or something like you know what I'm saying like you can you can you can be able to mesh these things really well and be a better athlete. And I'm just talking about a football and basketball perspective. But multiple sport like think about those what each thing adds to you as an athlete and as a person, man. Like I'm such like I like we were talking about earlier, like I like the teams, all the things you get from all of these things are the that's the stuff like you keep talking about later in life. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I realized about after college, man. Like when I started with film stuff, man, cause I started as like a PA, and which is like, that's the guy that's, going to grab the coffee, take out the trash,
Yeah,
whoop de
that's how
whoop.
you do it, right? Yeah, yeah,
The first
yeah.
first person there, last one leave, and like they
Mm-hmm.
was like 12-hour days, and like we in the sun, like and I remember there being some other PAs and stuff, like falling off or like like not being able to do this and that, but I like coming from team environments, coming from like some like where coaches on like you got all these like I'm like, bro, if I used to get up at 4:30 running or 4:30,
Mm-hmm.
5:30 going to weights, I can do this shit. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like
sir.
you got
Yeah.
these experiences you can lean on that you didn't been through that's gonna always be able
Mm-hmm.
to help you if you can pull from them. So that's why I like feel like being able to like play things and do things, these different sports, man, they make you a better athlete, but also make you a more well-rounded person. You know more about something else, and you're able, you never know what you're gonna be called to do or how you can help somebody else later, So it's just those things are great, and even when I think about those things, like I should have done more, but I in even some ways I was scared to be good in a lot of things, right? Like I was scared of myself in a way that wasn't healthy. Like and then it came to I was like, okay, well, if I got good at this, people like say I'm good at this. Oh, then I did this, I was good. Like, oh, if I keep trying stuff, what if I'm sorry at that? What if I'm, like I was
Yeah.
limiting myself because I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
about all of that, when I should have been just doing it because I wanted to do it and it would have been
Yeah,
the
yes,
best
sir.
thing to do,
Yes, sir.
So I guess I'm more so thinking about it from a psychological point of view, but yeah, it's yeah, man. Sorry, I'm rambling. You can go to the question, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no doubt, no doubt, man. I tell no, but no, I tell people all the time, man, that I feel the same way. My son now, man, finally got a kid of my own. So my son, he's 15, man, about to be a sophomore, and he plays football in track. He's football track. Yeah, trying to do the basketball thing, but what he didn't understand is that he didn't have what Tony had, both with the basketball, being that with basketball is something that you got to work at every day because there's so many different skills and fundamentals that you got to learn. So my son, he just thought, okay, I go outside and practice one day, then don't go back outside and hoop for a couple days, what have you. So he didn't realize that part there. So fast forward, he does basketball and track, and like you say, both sports, don't help. He's real big in football, but I had run summer track with him. And I told him, how now he's in his summer workouts, and his football coach is raving about, how his agility and his stride and all that, because one sport helps the other. So
Yeah.
I'm always, big on that, man. Even though in North Dallas, I ain't never just tell you guys, hey man, I just play just straight play basketball. When I talk with Deshaun and Shed today, I'm still mad. I'm like, man, y'all should have played football and basketball, man. Both of y'all should, especially Shed, you should have played football, man. If Shed would play football, Shed probably be playing on Sundays. You probably be watching Shed
No,
on
for
TV,
real,
man.
for real.
People don't understand the greatness of Shed, man. I've never met nobody 6'5", 6'6", that athletic, man, that tough, that mean, that agile, skilled. Shed was a beast, was a big time, was a
No,
hell of an athlete, man. A professional athlete, man. He supposed to be
no,
getting
for
paid doing
real.
something, man. Don't
Serious.
told me, for real, don't.
No, he was the truth. He was like
Yeah.
what a dominant, like just dominant. Yeah, that he was the truth for sure.
Yeah, no, man. Let's transition. Tony, go start. Talk a little bit about college athletics. I know that you still keep up with with sports, like you said. You and your dad still watch athletics, what have you. So let me ask this: your personal opinion. What do you feel is the present state of college athletics? Do you feel it's in a good place, or with everything with the NIL and the transfer portal? How do you think the state of college basketball? What type of position you think it's in right now? Good place, a bad place?
I think it's finding its way after some change, right? After there was a old model that's been, messed with, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
and it's in that stage of, trying to find that balance of where what it's gonna be. I am happy that the kids are getting a piece of the pie. Um, even
Mm-hmm.
though that, that that's what's a part of this whole balancing of the system. But I'm happy that they're getting a piece of the pie for decades and decades and decades. You know, they schools and institutions and uh, networks be making all this money off of people. And kids been putting a body and everything on the line behind this dream, like they willing to do legit whatever for this promise. Is gold at the end of the road. And so I'm just happy that they can get some gold while they on the road. So it's
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's one of them things like, oh, I wish I could have got some money. It's one of them. But it's so cool, man. It's so great to see. I know there is gonna be some, I guess, some. Yeah, but it's with everything, man. It's gonna be some not good examples of what you can do with it. But I kind of just want to focus on the people who are, who are doing right with it, and they really need that money to be able to help things and better things. Even though there are gonna be people
Mhm.
who just tricking it off and whatever, you know how it go. But I want to
Mhm.
focus on, yeah, the sharing of the pie, and I'm happy for that. But I do think it's gonna take a couple, I guess maybe a couple more years before it all like balance it out or whatnot.
Yeah. You brought up a good point, man, that people don't understand it's just a philosophical thing, meaning what you said, Tony, you have a certain model that's been in place for what ends up like probably 70 years or whatever, 100 years, whatever, something's been in place for so long. But now, like you say, you try to tweak it. So just naturally, you're going to have, some type of resentment, change, people not happy, some people happy
Yeah.
or what have you, until, like you said, until we find a happy medium or what have you. Because right now, for us with the NIL, like you say, hey man, I'm all for it or what have you, but we don't just keep it. It's wild, wild west right now,
Yeah, for
So
sure.
so I think like anything, got to get some type of structure and organization in it, or what have you, and or what have you. So let me ask this: what do you think about you and your dad, man? I got to mention. What do you and your dad think about the transfer portal? You think that's a good or bad thing about kids, being able to switch schools and things like that? So you think that's a good or bad thing?
Um, I see the negative in it, but I try to look at what the positive is, because I know so many people that were held back from
Yeah.
going to better situations
Yep.
because
Mm-hmm.
these they had they had the collar around their neck and they couldn't, right? And like, oh, if you do,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta sit out or you gotta do this. So
Mm-hmm.
I see the benefit. Like I like so okay, what comes after like structure is like I said, chaos, right? And you kind of gotta like
Mm-hmm.
find that find what to do with freedom for real. Like, what do I even do with freedom? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to be away from this, and now that I'm away from it, it's like, all right, well, it's just that was the whole
But
thing.
you don't have no direction, you don't have no plan. See, yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't have no
exactly,
direction, you don't have no plan. Yeah.
exactly. So it's just like I feel like it's this new thing, and a lot of the beginning people aren't doing it right. They just you may be going off of feelings, but as time go, people gonna learn how to really move through it and really how to think through it
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna have more examples that they can look back on and be like, well, so and so did it. I ain't just gonna do it like that. I might move like this now, and then that'll become the standard. So I do think, I see the positive in it, even though I see like, dang, like you didn't even try to wait a little bit or see this. I get that perspective too, but I like that they have the freedom to move and groove as they want to, and over time it'll become better. People will become smarter, more wise, and know how to move through it. But I like overall I like it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm like you on both things too. I like you, like I said, I like the part about with the NIL, the student athletes getting a piece of the pie, and I'm happy, like to say, with the players, having the freedom because I can speak on it, a lot more than a lot of people because I've been blessed, to coach on the collegiate level, so I know, like say some of the things that go along with that. Where you say, T, where you know you pretty much in a sense, if on the negative side, where a coach, for whatever reason, can hold the kid hostage, meaning that, hey, the kid may not want to transfer to you because back, in your day or whatever we were playing, especially at a Division One, so if you get ready to transfer, you transfer to another Division One, so you glad to sit out of you. So you're going to use it, your eligibility. So who wants to, sit out of you or what have you? So what you're saying is true. And what you've been saying the whole time is the good things that once people uh, learn to do, learn, get more information, get more examples of things, then people could do better. Like I say right now, it's always kind of hard when you get the first people, as we call them, experimental people, whatever,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, people, whenever you do stuff, then you got to kind of work out the kinks and then it'll
yeah,
work itself out. But like you say, the overall, I guess theme of what they're trying to get out of it, I really like that part, as far as that part. Hey, everybody, appreciate you tuning in to TaylorMade Hoops Player Circle. I'm on here with my main man, Green Light Tony White, one of my former players at North Dallas High School. Man, been talking about a lot of good stuff. He's been dropping gems. Just got to talk about the state of college athletics and all those things. Uh, you kind of already spoke on this, T. So if you said all you had to say on this, that's fine. We'll move on to the next question. But any advice for young athletes who are trying to get recruited? Any more information you want to share? Any athletes, like you say, in high school, or maybe be in, in college, like you said, Tony, and maybe in a JUCO trying to move to a 4-year level, whatever. Any advice as far as being recruited?
Trying to be recruited, I would say if you're in high school, if you middle school, high school stuff, if you look around and see, I can only imagine at these times in these moments, but because everybody got it's kind of hard. Everybody got a trainer. Everybody got this, got that going on. Like if you that kid that maybe can't afford all that, don't have all of that. I would say the best thing is, of course, like we said, learn the world and get around people. See if you can get in situations to where that thing, that recruiting thing, that dream is more possible. It's happening more often. Over there where,
Gotcha, I follow.
huh?
No, no, I follow what you're saying. Yeah, put
Yeah,
yourself like you say, put yourself in a good situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See if you can, like at least try it for even if your situation gonna be hard. At least put in the effort to. I would say, try to do that. And for college, I mean, I don't think I would know just because my things come like when I think about things, it's more it's the psychological in a way of like at least like if you have a desire to do it, but you're a little nervous or you're a little scared, do it because you gonna wake up. What are you, 18? You gonna wake up 28 one of these days. You're
Yep,
19, you gonna wake up 29, and them gonna be the only really things you like. Damn, I should at least try.
yep,
Like
yep, yep.
that's the biggest thing. Like that's my biggest lesson after college. Like all like that is the biggest thing. Like, well, I didn't do the when I tell you I didn't do the Kentucky thing, or I didn't, like just little small things like, oh, I didn't get on punt return because I was nervous because like I knew I was good at it, but if I dropped the ball, like I was so scared to drop the ball. You know what I mean? Like that I was so scared to drop the ball that I didn't even do it. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah. Mhm,
them gonna be the things
mhm,
like just like do it at least, just do it at least. Just do it.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
just yeah. So them are the things I do is just because you don't wanna be what ifing. Like try to have as little what ifs as you can as you move forward. I mean, I feel like we always gonna have like, damn, I shoulda, but at least let
Yeah,
those be
yeah.
learning. Let those be the learning ones. You don't want those to pile up. But yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Hey, once again, man, tell the folks, tell the man, you dropping like I'm so proud of you, man. Hopefully, some of the stuff, man, I used to bug you about rubbed off on you, man. But biggest thing you said, the what if part, man, seriously, man. I tell people, man, in life, man, you want to live life with no regrets, man. I tell people all the time, it's like you're in my mind, Tony, because one of the things, man, I tell my wife every day that I live, I said, one of my mottos is I say, hey, if you think it, do it. Just like you said, if you think about something, don't hesitate, just do it. Don't be afraid that somebody gonna say no. Don't be afraid that you may not, succeed or what have you. Because I tell people, I said the pleasure in it or the gratitude you get is that it's actually going through the experience you actually trying.
Yes.
I tell people, you can't fail. I said you don't fail if you try. I tell my son, I say, hey man, if you go out there and play football, whatever, you may not catch the ball as much as you want to, so you may feel you're a failure. I said, but hey, you was out there trying. So what you
No.
said, Tony, man, you don't want to live like no regrets, no what ifs, or what have you. It's like if you think you do it, man. If you think you do it, don't worry about the results, man. Go ahead, T.
And it's like it'll seem like a cop out to say like try it, right? Like try it because and you fail like because you know what happens when you fail. Like but like trying it is really like I've lost out on so many possible good opportunities being shy, being timid that I get
Mhm.
like you know what I mean? Like I was so nervous and back then and timid to do the things that was on my heart. You know what I mean? And like when like man, it's just yeah, I just wouldn't want anybody to feel that way, go through that too, you know? So I agree with you, like telling like at least like just try it out. Like just try it. It ain't
Mhm.
you know, try that out. Like yeah, but yeah.
Let's try, man. I ain't tell my students today, man, because Tony, I ain't hit the lottery, man. So I still got to teach, man. But I tell my students today, man, I tell my students today, I tell them the same thing. I said, hey, man, for us about when they graduate or whatever, from high school, I tell them about the opportunities, that they may have. I tell them, hey, college is not for everybody. I say everybody's path is different. I say, you got college, you got trade school, you got military. I say, even if you just want to go the old school way, like some of my parents did, just go work for a good company and work your way up or what have you, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, I tell them about the college thing is, Tony, I tell them, I say, hey, man, I said, if you go to college, I say, just go. I say, just go try. I say, you may not feel it may not be for you, but it may be for you because
Yeah.
this Tony, going to college and things like that, being a college graduate is that, hey man, some of the people that go to college, some of the people the most successful in college are the ones in high school that were the less successful, the ones who didn't really go to class or whatever. Because when you get into college, you don't have that person over you, your mom and dad tell you to go to class, what have you, you got to be independent, you got to wake yourself up. Some people thrive in that environment, and some people
Yeah.
get sucked in that environment, what have you. But I tell them, I say, hey, at least go to college, at least try. I say, and if it don't work out, then like you say, Tony, you can say, hey man, I went to college, man. I tried to go or what have you. But just kind of piggyback on what you said, man. Hey, if you think about something's on your heart, man, just go ahead and try, man. Don't be afraid, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But hey, to my viewers tuning in, as you can tell, man, have a great time on the show. TaylorMade Hoops Player Circle with my main man Tony White. Uh, Tony, you kind of spoke this a little bit, but how has your experience as a college athlete helped you in your current career and your current business endeavors?
Oh man. Yeah, I know I spoke a little bit, but this is yeah. I think this is just because I remember him so clearly. You know what I mean? Like because I feel like, you know, adolescence, and all the way up through high school and whatnot, like I'm kind of just going with it. I'm just going with the flow, just going, just going, just doing what everybody was not whatever, but I'm just doing what I wanted to do. I'm just kind of going with the path that's kind of like laid out. You get what I mean? And you just kind of
Mm-hmm.
throw yourselves in that. But college, you get there and you realize like, oh, like, like it's first of all, it feels like a business. It ain't like high school. It's like you got all your homies, you got all your home, you got all this and that. You just having fun. You know what I mean? And you get to the college and it's all this structure, and especially
Yes.
especially when you don't come from structure. You know what I mean? Like for people who went to like North Dallas High School, DISD, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to, you know what I mean? You don't really come from like just some true program structure. You get what I mean? And like you get this,
So a true college preparatory type of situation, yeah, where they prepare you for
yeah,
college,
that's
yeah.
exactly way to put it. Exactly. Like so, um, you go through all of this and you like you really go through it. You really go emotionally, physically, at the same time, mentally. You know what I'm saying? Learn like I remember embarrassing once again to say, but like I had been playing football, I had been playing basketball. I didn't know how to play those games though. You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't know
Mhm.
how to I could hoop. I could play
Yeah.
football, but I didn't know how, I didn't know how to mentally play the game at all. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In a way outside of the natural talent of how like to sense things coming, like awareness. You have all of that, and like because you've been hooping stuff for so long, you got all that. But how to mentally play a thing, that's a
Mhm.
whole different. That's a whole different. you know, and that takes some time when you don't come from the structure, right? And only thing I hate about college athletics and all of that when it comes to life is because there's a shot clock on the whole thing, right? And
Mhm.
we all don't like pick it up and put it together all at the same time, especially when it's new to you, right? Like regardless of how new this was, I only had 5 years to figure it all out and get it all right. And
That's it.
and the coach and them gotta like you and all this other stuff too. It's a whole bunch of everything that go along with
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And so when you don't come from all that, you know, you're gonna spend those first couple years figuring it out, picking it up, doing it, unless you're just some like freak athlete physically to where regardless you're gonna be okay. But if you just you ain't just like over the top physically or anything, uh it's picking up all this and then it just every time it felt like every time it felt like as soon as I was getting it down, the shot clock was running out. And I hated that about sports because even in high school, I remember that last year. I'm just like, fuck, why didn't I play my junior year? Like I'll have it gravy by now. And then like, because towards the end of my senior year, I was really feeling real good. Get to college, this whole process start over again, and I get to Mesa
Yep.
in Colorado, and I'm like, oh man, I'm really starting to figure it out, and it's ending again. You know what I mean? It's just like it just. But anyway, but I took that what I took from college and all that was the structure and all those like I said all those experiences I went through and pushing myself to the limits, you know, like physically and being accountable, being responsible, um, you know, yeah, just becoming a better overall person. And then you out me like I was so happy that I ended up in Colorado. You know, here being here from Texas, man, you know, like mountains and all that type of stuff. And then I go to
Yeah.
Commerce. Commerce is like a basically like all the DISD schools put together. You know what I mean? It ain't
Yeah.
like
Hey, tell me not to cut you off. When I first went there, it was like a DISD class reunion. Hey, I
yeah,
went to Kimball. I went to Carter. Oh, I went to Hillcrest. I was 12,000. No, for real.
yeah,
For real.
exactly. So like culturally, it was so familiar to me. You know what I'm saying? Culturally, it's so
Okay.
familiar. So it was yeah, it was like you know it was culturally super for me. You know, you went from Dallas, we out from Dallas, whoop, whoop. But I go to Colorado, now I'm seeing mountains. I'm meeting people that, oh, you want to go on a hike? You want to go camping? I'm like, you what? You know what I mean? Like do a snowboard, you know, and
Yeah.
these things, you may be focused on this thing you do, but it's all these other little things you picking up as a human to
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty in that all, right? And so like
Hmm.
when I left um college, I didn't know I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly, but I knew how I wanted to feel, right? And I knew how I wanted to like I had like you know like I felt more confident in as a person, right? Because I felt like I've been through some stuff. Like I
Hmm.
like I wasn't just floating anymore. You know what I mean? I was like starting to, even though in college there's that structure still, and you kind of just like, all right, I got weights, I got class. It's still this structure that allows you to float. But as you get towards the end of it, you got to start thinking about future for the first time. That's when you
Hmm.
kind of start trying to even take those beginner steps to learn how to think about the future. And for me, I didn't get all of that down until 2 years after college, but
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
able to take what I was learning mentally and physically by being out on my own and then
Hmm.
experiencing other states and other people, how they interact and act. Sorry, man, I keep rambling on your questions, but
No,
I just
no, man, no, hey, man, no, I'm no, seriously, I'm enjoying your story, man, seriously, because you dropping gems, man. Like you say, you meet new people, And by meeting new people, learning new cultures, like say, go especially going to college, that's the thing that's intrigued me. The reason why I'm glad you're talking to is because what you said, you came from a certain type of place, and when you first went to college of commerce, like you say, it's like being at home. It wasn't really like you say nothing different. Then you go to total change from this to keep it real. A brother from the hood of Dallas
Yeah,
going to Colorado Mesa, you're like,
yeah, exactly.
whoa, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just everything around you is different, just like you say, from ethnicity to culture to backgrounds to the weather, so
Yeah.
I'm just listening to what you say, but the important things you're saying, man, is that the experience that you are that you're finding through life, through your journey, is making you be a more well-rounded person, man. But now, go
Yeah.
ahead on, man. So you say you learned to make like 2 years after college, you start kind of figuring out a little bit till you said.
Yeah, so I don't know if you had a question kind of about like after what I did after college, but I didn't know if I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah.
step on
So
you.
you go
I
ahead
don't
and
want
move
to
on
step
to that one, T. Yeah. So for the viewers, I'm gonna ask Tony this one here, man. I almost lost my notes, T. I apologize. Yeah, so I'm just gonna ask you, man. T, so what are you up to these days? What are you doing, career and business wise, man? I know what you're doing, but let the viewers know, what you do. Now that I kind of talked about a little bit, big time film director and all this. Kind of tell us what you been up to, man. What you got going on, man?
Yeah, I'm a so sorry. I was like I feel like I didn't know if you were gonna get into I can go back into the 24 where I was learning all that. But I didn't know I
Hey,
didn't want
no,
to
go
step
ahead.
on your next question or anything if that was
No,
it.
no, no, man. No, T, hey, man, you fine, man. Hey. I told you, it's like we just chopping up, man. Back in the day after practice, or riding in the truck, man. You and Deontay, man. Hey, it's all good here, man. Go ahead, man.
Okay, for sure. Okay, well I am a documentary film producer. Actually, I can say I'm a documentary filmmaker now. Actually, just um, 2 months ago, or how many months, whatever, how many months ago, but May 17th, I premiered my first documentary. It's called At the Pan African Connection. Um, and so that was May 17th, 2025. I premiered my first
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
feature doc. But leading up to how I got to that, so for the past 7 years, so after I left Colorado, I
Hmm.
I moved to Los Angeles, and
Okay.
yeah, so I was in Los Angeles for the past 7 years. I moved out there, um, and that's where I began to do this whole documentary stuff. And I guess I gotta let you know how that even came about too. I can't
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. So not to cut you off. So let me ask this, man. I guess that I gotta do a better job as a coach of knowing y'all interest outside of basketball, because I never knew that you were into the film and directing, and I didn't even know that was something that you had talent or interest in high school, man. So how did that come about, man? Is that something that you kind of picked up in college, or was that your major, or did something just kind of like say once you graduated from college you kind of felt right about doing? How did that all come about, man?
so it came about so I don't want to say this is where it started, but I used to always I feel like since no doubt and Hillcrest, mainly towards Hillcrest, because that's when like iPods came out that had the little cameras, I
Okay.
think. But I used to
Yep. Yep.
always carry those around just for memories. Like my whole, like I still, if we go to some of my external hard drives, I still got stuff from Hillcrest Day. I always been recording things just for memories. And so,
Hmm.
um, it was never something I wanted to do. It was just something I just like memories. So fast forward
Yeah.
it, at Mesa, like I told you, I got hurt
Hmm.
my junior year.
Okay.
And so I just remember like I started out the season, like I had just transferred to Mesa. I was grinding that whole summer. You know how like coach always say, don't cheat the game, don't cheat the game.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was grinding like that was the hardest I didn't grind it. Like leaving commerce, I was like, I gotta show them that they, that I was, I was in that mode. And
Yeah.
so first game, like first half, I had like maybe like 6, 7 tackles. I had a fumble recovery. Like I was like, okay, I'm back. Like this is gonna be how it
Yeah.
is. This is
Yeah.
gonna be how I always have been. You get what I mean? Like I felt, and then first play of the second half, I get my ankle ran over like by one of my own teammates.
Oh man.
I had to miss the next 7, 8 weeks, something like that.
Mm.
And I had never really missed like my whole like I was never really hurt. So like that was my first time ever thinking about life. I was just not like I had always been like curious and thought about like, but I always ignored it because this sports shit is what I do. I'm like, oh yeah, this I'll do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I'm athlete. I'm athlete, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You
But,
know how mine's gonna team. Yeah.
yeah, but when I get hurt, I was like I couldn't walk. So I was just forced to sit in my like dorm room and really just sit there and be like, I'm really giving my all for this shit. Like for something that could be gone just like that. Like legit just like that. And I was like, what was, I'm going in the room. He was talking all that shit about don't cheat the game, don't cheat the game. The game don't, I just kept saying the game don't love you back. The game don't love you back. And I just remember like at that time I had like a roommate from Hawaii. This is I had a roommate from Hawaii. And they was all like, I don't know if you know them, they yeah, like sir, they
Yeah.
do all that, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had a GoPro. He had a GoPro. And after a while, when I, like was still on the crutches or whatnot, I used to just get in the car with them and just they used to, just do naturey stuff. And
Mhm.
I didn't want to be around the team. And so I just end up using his GoPro, man, and I just started taking that everywhere, still just for memories. Just for memories, just taking it around. Then when I got back with the team, I just kept doing it. I had bought my own and whatnot. And then my senior year, I was like, okay, I'm back healthy and whatnot, and I'm a play this last year out hard, but I'm not like I'm fully committed to the team and the season and everything. But I know this ain't gonna be my life. Like I know this,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I had made up in my mind. And so I had the camera and stuff. I used to take the GoPro everywhere, but just legit, just for memories. And I used to make videos for the team like every week after every one of our games because I want to remember my senior season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after it was all over, I had this loss of identity. Like I didn't, mind you, I was just doing I didn't think camera was anything to do with my life. I just liked the memories, right? And I was always a curious person. I always wanted to get to the bottom of things. And I
Hmm.
remember when it was over and I was having all these feelings about like because it's a thing, coach, when you get to like you've been doing this, you've been a part of
Your
it,
whole life.
yeah, you
Your whole
legit
life.
whole life. And then it comes
Yeah.
to a complete fucking just curtains closed, ain't no more practices, ain't no more weights, ain't no more, you know what I mean? And
Hey,
it just,
hey, tell me, your whole life, because you got to think about your whole life as far as your whole day, your structure, what your
yeah.
life is built around, it's over. Like you say, I get why, seriously why athletes, even some athletes after high school who are not blessed enough like you to play collegiately, the ones that are real, real good, high school athletes or whatever, because people don't understand the difference between being a good high school athlete and a collegiate athlete. So those ones, like you say, Tony, when it's over with, I see why some of them, like you say, go through depression and things like that, or like you kind of allude to, sometimes you may have identity crisis because that's who you are. You've been an athlete, you've been a football player. That's what everybody knows you as. That's your whole life, man. It's your whole schedule of your life. Your whole life routine is football.
yeah. Serious, like man, to the T. And I just remember being so like in that. And I just started to record that stuff. Like I just started to
Mm.
record that, and then because I felt like I was being able to talk to somebody else even though I wasn't. It was like a
Yeah,
venting
yeah, yeah,
thing,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just like the camera, I was just like, okay, like it made me feel better. And then I
Mm-hmm.
was also like, uh, I think when I was there, or like right before I got to Mesa, I had went on my first cruise with my aunt and my cousin. So I had like felt what it was like to be outside of all of this.
Yeah,
So when that was happening, I was just like, I feel I don't know who I am. I don't know what's going on, but like I just want to feel different. I want to go find myself. You know what I mean? I just want to
yeah,
like
yeah,
get away
yeah,
from
yeah,
all of
yeah.
this. And so that's how I ended up traveling. That's how I ended up traveling. So um, while I was traveling, I did this like I tried this like backpacking thing in Europe, and I was there for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I was like sleeping in hostels, doing this whole thing. Um, and but I had my GoPro and I had all this. And then I remember it came around that when I was coming back, I remember getting like some people like, man, like like why you like I used to be asking travelers and everybody things just for
Just
memories,
random
just
stuff.
life.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then I remember getting back from the getting back from when I ran out of money after 3 weeks. I come back to Dallas, and I was like, what do I do? Like, I could, I could escape forever. You get what I'm saying? Like, I could, like, now that I met enough people traveling, I could keep traveling and be gone, and
okay.
make it like I could look like I'm really enjoying myself, even though I'm dealing
Okay.
with like depression and all this. I can keep
I
looking
can
like I'm
say,
enjoying myself.
okay, okay,
So when I
okay.
came back, I was like, I gotta be real. Like, what do I really, like? Who am I now? And
Mhm.
I remember, I think I still have the writing. I have to show you one day, but I remember writing it out because, like, I'm saying, like, Coach, I would sleep for like 12 hours some days, 16 hours. Like, I was deep in it, like, because I really didn't know what was life no more.
Yeah,
And I remember just starting to write it all through, like writing it out, like trying to figure out myself. Writing, I'm like, what do I like? How did I get to 20, almost 24, and I'm on my mama couch right now? Like, what caused all of that? And I wrote from 7 years old all the way
okay.
to that age. And I
Wow.
realized through those writings that it was the, you know, purpose and a reason to look forward to tomorrow was the was the reason I was like a happy person. It wasn't just because it was sports. The sports gave me a reason to live, and now I just needed to find what that was. Like, what was gonna be my next reason to want to
Yeah.
get up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, how can I find that? And I was like, well, what do I like still now? And so I wrote out traveling. I wrote out sports. I wrote out the camera stuff. I was like, well, I like this. I like putting these little videos together.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking like, okay, well, from all of this, what can I make money from? Like, what can I do for like a living?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, maybe I can make videos for people because in my college town, people was like, hey man, come film at our thing, come film at our thing. I'm like, well,
Okay.
maybe if
Okay.
I get good at this, making some little videos, I could maybe if I get good at making videos, I can, support myself or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so on my interest list was traveling, camera. And so I tell people I went to YouTube University because I swear for the rest of 2016, I remember getting back in like August. And I called my homeboy DJ and he was working at Lifetime Fitness and he was like, bro, yeah, no, this ain't it, bro. Like, no, this ain't it. And he was like, so we was talking. I was like, yeah, bro, same here. And so I was like, I'm gonna do this camera stuff. And he actually, his name DJ, but he DJs. And he wanted to at that time. And so I was like, bro, let's move back to our college town and let's move back to Colorado and let's work on the craft. And
Yeah.
like I was on YouTube every day for months, just trying to learn how to get good with the camera stuff and learn how to actually be good and not just like, you know what I mean? Not just like, oh, I'm gonna show up
No,
because I
no,
need.
like I would say, tell where you're good at it, where you got a skill, where you're professional at it, where people value and see, that you got a good product. Where you just say, like you say, going down because you had somebody call say, hey, come down, film me. So you just down, like, just going down
Yeah,
there with your little camera, just you want to make sure that you legit, you technical, so
yeah,
you come up with quality work because with quality, that's gonna bring the money. Because people are like,
yeah,
okay, because when people see you serious about something, then they're going to be serious about it. If you're not really serious about it, you playing around, what have you, oh, I'm just having fun, then they go, oh, we just stole your $2 here, total. But if you come up, you serious, and you come up with a business plan, like I know you're a smart individual like you did, there you go. So you got, but in
yeah,
order to do that, which went back, what you said earlier, you got to know the word. So you got to know that
yeah.
word,
Yep.
learn that word. You got to go to YouTube and learn that word. How does this stuff work? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Q. I
exactly.
hate to
That
cut you off. Go ahead. So you was on
no, you
YouTube
good.
all the
No,
way down to 16.
no worries. I think after that, when I got back, like you said, I started taking it, more serious, just trying to learn, and so I started doing that, and I was at the beginning stages of that, and so I made
Okay.
like I followed my football team again because I know that was an end. Like I had just left, and
Okay.
you know what I mean. So I was still known around there. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I got
I started following them, and I made like this thing that I called 100 yards. It was like what they were doing, just like what happens before football season.
you. Yeah.
And I remember somebody telling me, "Hey, bro, like, well, what you doing and what you talking about, like, you should watch Last Chance You." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "All right, I'll try to check," because I didn't have Netflix or none at the time. And
Okay.
so the second season of it was about to come out, and I remember watching that shit like this, you know what I mean? Because I had been talking, because when I first started, when I came back, I was telling my homie DJ, I'm like, bro, what if we followed the football team, but showed all of these things that go on that you don't think about, that like a
Okay.
normal person. But this was like, this was back then where it just wasn't so much of that out there. You get what I mean? So
Okay. Yeah.
my attempt to try that was a very amateur attempt. So when I
Okay.
but at the time it was the best I knew from, it
There
was
you
the
go.
best,
Talk about that. Best you do. Yeah.
yeah, best I
Mhm.
knew. So when they showed me Last Chance You, I was just like whoever these people are, they get it. Like this is A1. This is top. You know what I mean? Like this ain't no. So
Mhm.
I remember saying to myself like this was like I think it ended up being like 2017 now maybe. And I was like, okay, in a year from now, I'm gonna move to LA regardless. Like regardless, in a year from now, I'm gonna move to LA. If I want to be good at this video stuff, this is what I'm doing. Like I gotta do this. If I want to be if I want to be good at, I gotta go where the good people are. And it
Yeah.
was a
There you go.
it was yeah. Like I want to set myself up to at least be around that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to like, we talk about high school and all that. I would just go with the flow, like, if
Mhm.
it's meant for me, oh, it'll happen. But like this time I was like, no, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to be in that world where all the good like for the example topic we talking about, it'll be like saying I'm gonna go to the where the hoopers at, like where the good
Yeah.
coaches at, where the good
Yeah.
programs at, and I'm gonna get in the program. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That was the
Mhm.
mindset. Like I'm gonna go out here and be with the people. Cause I remember I had took a trip around like 2017, and I was still doing it for like memories. But
Okay.
like I told you, I have always been like curious. So like even when I be places, I be asking people stuff. And this girl, I remember we were all like leaving, like I think it was like a beach or something, and she was like, "Hey man, like you're gonna be a good documentarian." And I was like, "Is that what that is? Like, is that what this is?" Yeah. I was like, is that what this is? Because I had never gave it a name. I was curious and I like recording people and their cultures and I like memories, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I never thought I was a documentarian, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, and then after seeing Last Chance U, and I was later, I was just like, okay, like if I really want to do this, I gotta go to where people really do it at. And that's a long story, but like that's how I got into the camera stuff and how I ended up in LA for 7 years. I left school, go through this process of finding myself. I travel, just take camera with me. Then I decide I want to learn this, and then it's kind of it kind of like built on top of itself.
yeah. But some man that you said, man, that I'm glad, like you said, you sharing your story, man. Not just like you say for uh the parents or guys that's currently playing ball, whatever. But like I like to do, man. What you say is that a lot of times, be honest, man. A lot of athletes, man, people don't realize this is something that, like, I may give you an idea, Tony, whatever, man. That you may want to know when you have athletes after the ball bounces or shuts down, whether it be high school football, what they go through, their process. Because to be honest, Tony, I suffered through that, man, and I have shared with a lot of people. I suffered through that depression myself, man. Because I remember in high school, man, high school play ball. No matter of fact, just like how you look at Coach T back then, I could play ball a little bit, man. How they look at you, I played basketball a little bit, but I played in high school, whatever. Fortunate enough to get a scholarship, get a scholarship to junior college, whatever. So my just like you, man. Ever since I was little, man, all I did was eat, sleep, and you know what? Basketball. That's it. Basketball, basketball, basketball. So, kind of like you, man. Went off to college, man. First year there, man. Before practice start, before the first day of practice, whatever, man. Get into the car wreck. Boom, messed my back up. I mean, back just all jacked up. So I ended up having, like, say, basically kind of like you did your last year, whatever, got hurt. So never had been hurt, anything like that. So away from the team. Shoot, didn't even get a chance to officially practice. With the team. Of course, I played, during the summertime, but didn't get a chance to do this. So what that led me to be, man, is that once I didn't have basketball, man, I just went to depression, man. Well, I just would sleep all the time, man. Wouldn't eat right, whatever, because like you said, that's all I could identify with. Like you said, they had been taken away from me, like you were saying, man. And I was like, dang. But what that made me do in the back of my head, kind of like you told me, so I came back the next year, and I was healthy with, of course, I was focused, what have you, and all that. And I was, with the team, what have you. But in the back of my head, man, I knew, I'm like, you know what? I got to find something else to do, something else that brings me enjoyment, something else I'm passionate about, other than just basketball, because this could be taken away from you, just like that, just the injury. Simple, you know what I'm saying? Somebody ran the light, boom, ran to me, now my back jacked up. You get what I'm saying, Tony? So that's something that I think that we don't talk about enough. Now in this day and time, of course, mental health awareness is a big thing, whatever. But that's something I think that we don't talk about. What you just said, man. Sometimes when athletes after the ball quit bounces or whatever may happen, you may get injured, have to quit playing. Whatever the case be, you don't have it no more. Then a lot of times, we don't have an identity, Tony. So that's a good point, man. Hey, we're gonna come down to the last question, man. But hey, as you can tell, I'm having a great time with my main man, Green Light Tony White. He's telling his story. Believe it or not, like I was telling him, I guess I wasn't a good coach because I didn't know that Tony had interest, for us, a movie director, film director, and things of that sort. And that's what he is right now. And he's before we sign off, we have to hear give you some more information on his film and things like that, and how you can watch it like that, because we're big on promoting stuff around here, T. So you kind of talked about it, T, but last question, man. I'll let you get out here, man. You kind of talked about a little bit, man, but elaborate a little bit more, if you would like, about if you got any advice for current athletes as far as preparing or transitioning for life after college athletics. What advice might you have for any current athletes as far as preparing or transitioning for life after college athletics?
Oh man, love that question, man. I would say, I mean, my way of doing things, I kind of gotta write them out. I gotta feel it. Like I gotta feel it, you know. But I would say definitely dive into your interests, whatever those are, you know. And that's why I definitely think it's important that the earlier the better. Like even if you playing any sports that you know your parents or even just being around people that you have other interests, you are doing other things, maybe learning some other skills or you know picking up some other stuff. Like for my example with me, like I had always liked the memories, but the camera really started being more so a part of my life during that time in Mesa when I was hurt and all of that. You get what I'm saying? And so like that was added to a part of my interest, right? And so I was able to dive into that. So I would say like write a write a write a list of your interests, right? I believe purpose and meaningful stuff you find it within those things. Like even it's like even if you don't know where you fully going, you know, you like you it's like you putting one foot, at least you able to put one foot ahead and get, you know, you I don't know how to express that the
What we're trying to see, you get a leg up on things. You get like at least if you put one foot forward, even if you don't know where you're going, at least that foot is going forward. It is not just backwards where you're standing. At least you're moving. You know,
yeah,
that's kind
yeah,
of what I
yeah,
take what you're saying, T.
yeah, in a way that you're like you you learn how to aim better, right?
Okay.
Like if you start off and say like, "Oh, I want to do this." Right? At least you put together like if you say, "Hey, I want to do this." And then I say, "Hey, okay, like okay, write down your interest to me." Okay, I got like this, I like that, I like that. Okay, which one is the best possible route you think for you?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
choose this one. Okay, let's make a plan around this one. Whatever this one is, we're gonna make a plan around it. All right, you
Mm-hmm.
wanna do this, do that, you like doing this, it makes you love doing this. All right, let's make a grandiose plan around this, and this is the destination. That
Mm-hmm.
plan ain't gonna be the best plan because you don't know how to really plan yet. But it's better than not having anyone. You know, like not having any plan. And the thing is when you start on that plan, you learn all these things about yourself, about the world, and you're gonna learn how to make better plans. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
go down that road and then you're gonna be like, oh, like okay, that list that I had, that one, two, three, like okay, I'm kind of running out of number one, but I see right here, I can implement maybe three or two. You know what I'm saying? And then I can
Mm-hmm.
make a plan from here on this one. But you
Mm-hmm.
needed to have one in the beginning. So I hope that makes some sense. Just like kind of right now, who you even think you are. That way you can find out who you really are.
Mm. I like
You
it,
kind of,
man.
yeah, you just, you know, you kind of write out who you think you are, what you really want in this moment, because it's true. It's the real deal. Like the only reason you feel that way is because it means something to you. And the only
Yes.
way to figure out what you really want to do and really like is to do that shit that means something to you, right? Like I didn't know I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I was playing sports and stuff because it meant something to me, and it led me to do all these things, right? It led
Yep.
like all like the filming and all that stuff came about while I was on the road to doing some shit that had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
if you just go with your interests and have a plan for those and be like, I don't care if you like, I just want to cook. Like, okay, how can I be a really good cook? Then how can I start cooking? Like you make a whole freaking plan and you go and then you figure out, dang, I ain't gonna be able to be the best cook. It's gonna be something you learned within doing that that's gonna be the
Mm-hmm.
next thing,
It's
you know.
gonna help you. Yep.
But so that's what I would, you know, tell someone. Sometimes I feel like I say all this, I'm like, that, what did I even say? But that's what I would tell
No,
someone.
hey, that makes sense. That makes sense, man. Hey, what you said, Tony, man, makes sense. Have a plan because you just, hey, man, what you just said, your words go with your life and your journey, what you just said, because what me and you talked about, what I say, I'm so proud you use basketball as a tool to help you meet these experiences, travel, go places where you would not normally be able to go. If it wasn't for your passion for playing basketball, playing football, for sports, you wouldn't have got that scholarship. You wouldn't have got the scholarship. You wouldn't end up at Colorado Mason. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you say, sometimes things don't seem like they're working out, but by you being around the right people, what have you, even though you look at the injury like, oh man, it's a negative thing, that brought you said your own words, that brought you to your next thing. So through adversity, brought you to something that was prosperous, not just monetarily, but just to help you in life, to help you find who you are when you got hurt, through the video on the team and things that sort of what have you. So which now what you say makes sense. I get it, man. And I appreciate you dropping these gems on me, man. Seriously. And I like another thing is I tell my students the same thing. Find something that you like to do. The key to life. I tell people, I say, you know what, when I come to work every day, you see, they be like, as you tell, I got the same energy I
Yeah,
had
for real.
20 years ago. I was with y'all, man. Now I'm just gray, got a beard and gray, what have you, but got the same passion. No, but the reason being is I tell them, I said, man, for the past, how long I've been working, man, been teaching 23 years. So for the past 23 years, man, coach and teacher, I feel like, man, I've been finessing the world. I've been finessing life. What I mean by that is, man, is that I get up, go to work every day, do something I love to do, something I enjoy doing, something for us to coach the basketball part of something that I have done for free, just like you had to pay your dues in this industry or whatever, something that I've done for free, I've done for a little or nothing, that I probably would do for free anyway, because if I wasn't coaching, I'd probably be like your dad. I'd probably go on the games anyway. So I'm like, I get up to come and have possibly a positive influence on a young person's life every day. What have I said, and I get paid for this? I get
Yeah.
paid? I said, man, I get paid for this? I said, what? It's like when I was with y'all, man, working North Dallas, man, I'm teaching a bullcrap health class, man, that, helps these bullcrap health class. I got 3 athletic periods, man. I'm coaching basketball half the time, man. Catch out, he's sitting me on areas to go do this, do that. I'm hard at the school or whatever. I'm living the life. I'm getting paid for that, man. So to your point, Tony, I tell folks, if you find out something that you like to do, that you get paid for, you win in life, man. But it's based on your interest. And it starts by find something that you got interest in, and then find something you have interest in. You brought another good point, Tony. Not just that you have interest in that you're good in. I can have interest in cooking, but if I don't have no potential in it, Tony, it's like,
Yeah.
you might want to be interested in it, but have an interest in something you might be kind of good at and be able to make some money off of it. That's the way, man. That's the way, Tom. That's why people be looking at it like, man, because right now I teach in foreign, and I teach a DAP, which is District Alternative Education Program, like out of school suspension, like which is school, when you get in trouble, whatever they see, the DAP or whatever. So I suppose they have the bad kids, but they're not bad, man. First of all, the suburbs ain't no thugs or hard heads in foreign. That's why I tell them all the time, they try to be hard like, dude. Man, I'll take you over to North Dallas on Hall Street, drop you off, player. You be calling, beg me, man. They took my shoes, coach. They took my phone, man. They took my chain. So I'm like, y'all ain't hard. You know I am. I keep one else to teach. I'm like, man, bro, you ain't hard, bro. But the thing about this, man, I ain't got for 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? And that. So I'm like, most of the time, all I'm doing in the class, man, is like you say, man, I'm hopefully trying to help them correct their behavior to make better decisions. All I'm in there every day is just, man, hey, man, look here, man. Like I tell the kid today, the other day, he came, he was, I tell him, man, he came to class, man, he was in there, and I asked, I say, man, I say, why you DAP, man? What up like this? I already know, because I got the information. I just want to see if they gonna tell me. I said, man, why you DAP, man? Oh man, coach, man, Coach T, man, they be hating on me, man. It's first, man, they hating on me. I said, what you mean they hate on me? What you do, man? I hit with this. What they said you did? Because I know you didn't do it. That's why I hit. I know you didn't do it. I hit with that. I know you do. So what you say? I think, man, what them folks said you did, man? Man, yeah, man, you hate coach. You don't want to believe. I'm like, yeah, man, I know you ain't do it, man. What you do? Man, this doggone man, they called me some weed at school. I'm like, bro, I put him out and say, hey, man, look at man. I said, now let me tell you something. I said, everybody do something. So I'm not gonna tell you what to do, what not to do, whatever. That's not my job. I ain't your parent. I said, but what I'm here to do is tell you, man, to move a little different. I said, hey, bro, I said, hey, man, I said, listen, why would you bring? I tell him, I said, that's the stupidest stuff in the world. I said, why would you bring it to school, man? On you. I said, that's dumb, man. I said, first of all, you got to understand, just like when you come here every morning, I know you come to school the same way, smell like a pound. We walk in, you walk in school, smell like a pound. So I'm like, so when you walk in there, never take you to school, smell like a pound. I just keep real. I said, smell like a pound. I said, they already identify you. I said, because we teachers, coaches, administrators, we know the more. So he's a skipper, he's a game back. So we already know they already got you on radar anyway. So they already watched you anyway. I said, then you had the nerve to come in and smell like it. So you don't think they're not about to search you. Oh man, they just searched me for no reason. No, they did, man. No, they did, man. No, they did. So well, I'll tell you, that's what I do all day too. I sit in class, man, and try to get these kids to make better decisions and tell them that I believe them, even though half the time I don't. I know they lying. Yeah, man, Coach Lee, man, they said I did this. Man, I know you didn't do that, man. I know you didn't do that. They just started laughing, Tony. But now, man, hey, Tony,
What you've
man.
done, I really like the point you made about, getting like feeling like you done finesse life, you getting to do what you done, and like it's like you're an example of of like when you living like that, and you happy to live in like the impact that you can make, on people, and that you can like, I'm an example of that. Like, like we said, we ain't talked in 15 years, and it still feel the same as back then, and it's like I, wanted to do this because of how I wanted to do this interview because of how that energy you give off, right? And you can only give that off because you really was doing what you want to do. Like you was really living in that and trying to be in that and do that. And like people can feel that because it's like you weren't there just to get the check or just what for whatever reason. You was there because you wanted to be there. And that type of stuff, you never know how far you're like, you drop a water, like a rock in the water, and you never know how far your actions will ripple. Like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, your actions then rippled. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's how it's just like that's beautiful, man. Because you like, man, like we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And I know I can say we because I know it's a lot of us out there, and a lot of people I ain't talked to in years, and everybody feel that way. So man, I'm grateful to be able to chop it up with you today, man. And like I'm glad things worked out, and yeah, man, it's thank you for what you've done and what you do.
Oh no, man, I appreciate you, man. And the thing I'm just gonna say to you, to be honest, man, is that it was genuine, man. I believe in y'all, man. I really believe, like you say, in all y'all as far as whatever the dreams were, whatever. Just like I felt, that hey, man, that things don't work out, but I think that hey, if things worked out, and I was still there, and I was still had the head job with heaven, then I would have, I most definitely think that you would have, it worked out for you. But I think you could have went the basketball route. You could have,
Yeah,
I could have pushed you, could have got a, scholarship in basketball. You some, the other ones, some of them still did, because they were just, like the Sean and Ty, they were just shit freak athletes or whatever,
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying, or whatever, So, but to your point, man, no. But the thing about it was that I always want my players to know that, man, that I love y'all and I believe in y'all, man. And to me, it was always more than basketball because I knew that in the back of my head, I said, you know what? I said, God's put me in this position, that I'm blessed to be in this position to hopefully, plant good positive seeds in these young men. And I know all of them, like you say, success is not built upon your coach, how many kids you get to, play professionally, how many kids you get, to get college scholarships or whatever. It's the ones, like you say, like yourself, some of the other ones I had the chance to interview, Sheldon, Kenneth Graves, some of the other ones that were able to, that I'm proud of, that are successful husbands, that are successful, citizens right now, productive citizens, where I feel that I'm glad because, like what you talked to, I know that you haven't maximized it, but you're involved into being the best version of yourself, the best version of yourself, your purpose, best version of yourself. And just makes me feel good to know that I know, man, to be honest, man, I had but you got your parents, other support system. I had a very small part, in your success, what have you. But I'm just glad that you allowed me, to share the things. Which because a lot of times, this was like uh most of y'all pretty good, but some of the other teammates, they weren't as receptive to taking, the love or whatever I was trying to, I was trying to give them whatever, for whatever reason, man, because you never know what people are going through, people
Yeah.
home life things, going through whatever. So it might not be nothing personal. I never took anything personal, from y'all. If a kid didn't like me or whatever, hey, not a big thing. But hey, see, before we go, man, because I can ramble, go ahead, man, and promote what you got going on as far as documentary, how people can watch it and how people can follow you so they can support you, what have you, man. Go ahead and let everybody know what you got going on. I know it came out May 17th or what have you. So go ahead and man, plug yourself, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it. So, my film name is Anthony Asota, Asota. And my film that came out May 17th was At the Pan African Connection. We've had two, the premiere. I've had like four screenings in total now, and then actually on August 17th, 2025, the city of Dallas is putting on a screening for At the Pan African Connection, and that'll be at Texas Theater in Oak Cliff. Um, and if you aren't able to come out to watch the film in person, you can go on my website, asota7.com, and you can rent the film for 3 days. And that's ASOTASEVEN.com, asota7.com. Um, and yeah, that's me at the moment. My mission in life through my film and just as a person is to be able to supply the youth with those mental and physical tools that they'll be able to use that allow them to grow into like valuable members of our community and also be able to use them to be successful in whatever career path they choose. So some of my films, most of my films will be aimed at that, and then I'll also have other interests like making sports documentaries and stuff. But yeah, that is where I am at the moment and what I'm trying to do. And yeah, thank you for letting me talk about my film.
Well, we want people support and rent what have you, but if you can, without sharing too much, Tony, what is the film? What is the film? The base of the film. What is the film kind of dived into? Dived into. What is the origin of what is it about?
So at the Pan African Connection, it's so for the past 6 decades or so, there's been a lack of social economic progress in Black America. And so the film in the film I look to answer the question, is it too late for the unity and equity that we seek as a community, or did it die with the past leaders? Like did it die with the Malcolm X and Martin Luther Kings of the world? And I center all of that around my experience at this black bookstore in Oak Cliff called Pan African Connection. And so there is where I learn about our history, and then and I learn about certain things, and I that's where I receive my answer to the question: is it too late for unity in Black America? And yeah, so that's the film. It's this journey that I go on to figure out if it's too late for unity in Black America. Mhm.
Okay, okay. Well, let me ask you this. Uh, so, like you were saying, so that's kind of like the direction, like you say, Tony, you want to go in for with the documentary, kind of a little bit of history, kind of uplifting, the community and things they show, but also I know, like you were saying, from the sports background or whatever, so you're still gonna be doing possibly things like documentaries about sports and sports teams and things that's something that's still gonna kind of be on your agenda also.
Yes, sir. I'm actively right now I'm shooting shooting some sports stuff that I don't want to get too much into, but yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
sports stuff is so much a part of my life, and there are things that I want to talk about through that. But yeah, there are these historical things that I want to make because I was also that, like I was also that kid. I didn't know about our history. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
didn't really,
yep.
like we care that we black and we, but I didn't really know. I was aware of history, but I didn't know it. So
Mhm.
these films that I'm making, especially like the first one had the Pan African Connection, it's like if anybody is ever confused about the Black American experience, I'm hoping they can watch this and be able to understand themselves better, be able to understand what their elders and their ancestors went through in order for them to understand the world that we live in better today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Man, with Tony, man, hey man, it's been a pleasure, man. Appreciate you coming on. Like you say, man, hopefully, I know in life, like you say, go different directions with you, man, but hopefully, like you say, you still keep in contact, man, with some of them guys, man, North Dallas, whatever, man. We talk to them, and tell them Coach T still ugly. I'm still skinny with the same big head. Still like Louis the Lightning Bulb. I ain't
Yeah, oh my
I'm
God, it's
still
hilarious.
tell them I'm good, tell them, man, I love them, man. And like I said, man, one day, man, we need to seriously, man. I talk about this all the time. We need to I would like to say, man, maybe go date the bus or something, get together, man, just have a little mini reunion or something, man.
Man, I'm serious. I'm for real. We can really set that up or something. I like next time, like D coming out here or something, and when Dedrick get back. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's figure something out because I'm game. Now that I'm back here in Dallas, I'd love to do that, honestly.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But man, hey, not to hold you up, man. Hey, I do this to everybody, man, to come on the show, man. Uh Tony, go ahead and let everybody know who had the great pleasure of interviewing today. Who you rocking with, Tony?
Sorry, sir. What is your name again? I don't know who.
Tell
No, I'm rocking with Coach T, man. The one and only TaylorMade Hoops, man. Appreciate you having me on. Seriously.
No, hey, I appreciate you, Tony, man. Hey, keep on working, man. And seriously, man, I'm gonna get with you, man, because like you say, man, I'm not, as good as you, whatever, but like I said, I got a lot of ideas on different things, stuff like that, man. So, hey, like I said, we can come together, man, and like you
Yeah.
say, kind of brainstorm on some stuff, man, because a lot of history, like you say, because like you just said, I have the ideas and things like that that I think would be great, for both of us, but like you said before, you the one to know how to do it, to bring to light. You give up saying so, like you just talk about, sometimes you got to know that word or whatever. I know a little bit, but I don't know the technical part, like you say, for how to necessarily, bring to light. So that's where you come into, man. So yeah, let's collaborate, man, do some things, man. Hey, love you, man. Hey, tell your dad I said what's up, man. Hey, appreciate you, Tony. Yeah, have a good one,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, love you too, Coach. Appreciate everything, man. I'll tell you.
Hey, no doubt. All right, have a good one, man.
All right.